Hello everyone, Phoenix61 here with a fresh dose of World of Warships Legends shenanigans. How is it going? We are playing on Estuary, right? And this is, I don't know, I feel like, and we're in the Navarin, right? The Tier 8 premium sort of Soviet battleship that we've built out as sort of a brawling secondary build with this ship, right? And I feel like, if you've ever watched any of my live streams, it's pretty often that I gripe when I'm especially if I'm battleship or maybe even cruiser sometimes and spawn mid because I feel like with how long I've been playing this game, I still struggle with how to deal with the mid spawn on some of these maps, right? Because here especially on Estuary, if you're a destroyer, even destroyers, it's tough to decide what to do here. But you'll run into if you're a torpedo boat or something, right? If you try and push up through the middle around one of those corners, you're just gonna get annihilated by whatever spawned middle on the enemy team, right? So we come in as this brawling battleship, and I'm like, all right, let's try and actually play mid here. And it actually works out pretty good. So we're right off the bat here, you can see we're getting good angles on these ships that typically go up and move up behind those islands at the top of the A cap. If you look at the mini map, somebody else is just highlighting it right there, right? And I'm like, yeah, I'm looking at them. Like, I need somebody to spot them, right? And then, we've got we are a brawling ship, right? So like this Z44 comes around the corner. I instantly am hitting full reverse and am turning left, turning in towards him, right? Because we know with 100% certainty that guy has just sent torpedoes at us, right? I always say that the key to dodging torpedoes is to start dodging them before you see them, right? So we avoid him there, and then we take our salvo at him with the main guns, and then the secondaries finish him off easy peasy, right? So a little bit of luck, but also, combined with just those little bit of smarts of just knowing what the player's gonna do and taking full advantage of that and capitalizing on that situation, right? So, with the secondaries, we're able to finish him off. That worked out perfectly. So, if you didn't have a secondary focused ship, you might be in a little bit more trouble, if you don't kill him with that first salvo right from the main guns. But alas, I am not going to push through or push around, right? I feel like that's when I kind of end up getting picked on a little bit more. That's when those are the mistakes I've made in the past, right? Coming out from this C cap zone and pushing up too far too early, right? Especially if you move around and try and go for their, the B zone that they automatically have capped, right? So I'm going to move up and over a little bit to see if we can't pick on this Massachusetts. So if we get line of sight on him, it looks like our destroyers got him spotted as well. But right, we should be able to get secondaries and main guns to go to town on him, especially since he's backing up here. So we'll take the shot there, and then hopefully the secondaries kick in. I was like, why aren't they firing yet, right? As I do have it like 10.7 or something with these. Sometimes they take a second to start aiming, right? Those guys were taking a nap, I guess, manning those guns. But yeah, so we'll hit reverse here to try and keep us within range. Secondaries don't want to fire. I guess they don't think they can make it over this little island here. So try and back up, see if we can't help finish him off. And then our destroyer player is also being smart too, and not, you look at the minimap, he's not pushing up into that B cap zone, because you're just going to get, once you get spotted, it's just a funnel of bullets that you're sitting in, right? Like everybody from like all three spawn locations could potentially, especially early on, right in the beginning of the game, could potentially shoot you, and you're going to be the first one dead, right? So somewhat similar to what happened to their destroyer, although we did most of the work for that one, right? But yeah, we'll continue to pick on this Massachusetts. I took a quick peek off to our right just to make sure that those cruisers and that battleship over by the decap weren't going to be able to shoot us, right? Because I think that's where, there is some potential for vulnerability when you're trying to play the middle spawn like this. where if you have some of those cruisers that have those, especially those cruisers that have those higher flying bullets that can arch over and fire from cover, those are the ones that if you're spotted while you're trying to do this, those are the ones that are going to just damage farm you and fire spam you and all that other fun stuff. So, you know, this is just one of those things, like I say all the time, like circumstance, right? Like this situation allowed for us to take advantage of this positioning, and we just capitalize on it, right? So just because circumstance allowed us to do it, we took advantage, and then it worked out the best for us. So we'll take our shots at the Lepanto. We have a decent angle on him. He is kind of turned away from us, but don't have too much else to pick on at the moment. And then he's going to, of course, shoot at the cruiser that's right next to him, so don't have to worry about him taking a salvo at us. Shimanto out there is trying to deal with our destroyer, but if we get a good shot on him, that'll be fun. And then we'll see if we can finish off this Bayard, this cruiser. That would be a nice shot for us here. It does look like he's kind of moving away, right? So I'll fire a little further out and a little bit higher to try and just get the bullets to land on top of him. And then we do get lucky with a Citadel there, and so that finishes him off. That puts us up to 85,000 damage, and it feels like the game's still kind of early, right? Yeah, we've got, and then here we've got a Flander, right? So also, you know, a lot of people like to do secondary builds with that. I do as well. We'll see if we can get out in front of him and help him, or help this Cleveland, right? He does turn in towards us, so we're going to have to just kind of maybe aim high here with the, well, if he's going to keep turning, we might be able to wait here, but hit the secondary battery booster, right? We'll let those fire as much as they want. And then he looked like he was, yeah, so it gave it another second there, and he did continue turning in a little bit for us. And so we were able to take advantage of that. And then these are torpedoes from the Shimanto. We certainly do not want to get hit by those Japanese torpedoes. They hurt quite a bit. We do still have all of our damage con though, so you know, with the limited number of damage con, I've got it up to 5 just because of how we have the ship built and commander built out. So I'll go through that at the end of the video here, but yeah, we noticed we were going to be free of the torps, so I triggered the damage control party to get rid of the fires, and I was hoping to be able to finish him off, but you can see we get all over penetrations, and then he probably had just circled around to try and get the torpedo launchers on the other side of his ship off towards me, right? So, but yeah, with the limited damage cons, you know, your limited number, you don't have infinite number of damage control parties for a lot of these Soviet battleships, right? But the trade-off there is when you do have more still available, they come back quicker, right? So we were able to put that flood out almost right away because the damage control party was, you know, restored pretty quick there. So trying to finish him off, keep getting overpens, and just misses, straight up missing him at 4 kilometers out, but secondary battery manages to finish him off. We will do the courteous thing, our due diligence, the good boy thing, and cap this zone. I'm not sure, I wasn't sure which direction that Lepanto was going to go, but he's the only guy left now at this point, so we did have a little bit of a stomp game here. 3 kills for us, 2 assists, 146,000 damage. I kind of figured between my 2 allies over kind of down towards A that, you know, that the Lepanto might start trying to kite back away, you know, in this direction. So that's why I kept heading up, but ultimately, like, right, like it's going to be a little bit of a sailing simulator situation here if he doesn't get spotted and if we can't get within range, but we'll make sure to solidify the zone cap here and keep pushing up. Yeah, 2 secondary battery medals, right? Close quarters medals. And then we did get the first blood from that destroyer early on in the beginning, right? Who, you know, like we just played it right. Like he came around the corner. We knew it was a destroyer at close range. We knew he was going to send torpedoes almost instantaneously. So easy dodge there. The trick to that is if you're that guy, you know, hopefully you've got 2 racks and you can send, you know, you can send one along the suggested line and then send the second one short in case the person does turn, but he maybe only had the one available. But that ends the game for us. My teammates were able to finish off the Lepanto, so we end with 146k. Made a good amount of silver there. That puts us at the top of the leaderboard with 2,800 XP. Not a epic score, right? But we did, my teammates, pulled their weight in this game too, right? Almost 300k in credits. And then, yeah, this was towards the end of the recent campaign, so I'll show you how I have it built out, right? Secondary battery mod here. Propulsion mod is usually my go-to when it's available. Concealment, same thing there. And then we did do secondary battery mod 3 for the faster reload there. I typically like to go all out when I'm doing that, right? And then this is a free-to-play commander, Kedrov, right? So the Bodger, the blacksmith, right, is just a commander Geis. I do have Agilane Bismarck on here, which was an older paid commander, right? But Franz von Hipper is a free one. He's almost always a must for any, as an inspiration for any secondary battery builds. And then, yeah, we have the, reduced fire chance for this perk here. You could pick what you wanted, but then we go Porcupine to get that secondary battery range. And then here, the reason I'm using this guy is because he's got these perks where they add more damage control parties. And then Properly Meticulous. I usually go with Properly Meticulous over the Master Mechanic. I know some folks like to pick that Master Mechanic to get the extra heal. But I enjoy Properly Meticulous because it gives you, better survivability for your secondary batteries. So I feel like, in my, my personal experience, right, if you're going in and taking a beating, right, the extra, like, I'd rather, I'm going the best defense is a good offense kind of mentality there, but I know a lot of people like Master Mechanic to get the extra heal, but I do feel like I notice, secondary batteries going, getting damaged and going down completely a little bit more often when I don't have Properly Meticulous on, so I've been kind of leaning towards using that more when it's an option, right? But thank you guys so much for watching my video all the way through. Please do make sure you are subscribed to the channel. That helps me out more than you know. And then, yeah, we're doing Legends videos every day. So if you're subscribed, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks again.